So bottom on the chair, nice and even. Have a wiggle, check it out, see how you feel. And then lift through your belly, your chest, your shoulder. I always say shoulder blades, they're your collarbones, not your shoulder blades. Relax your shoulders, drop them down. And let's just pop your hands down by the side. And we're going to just lean to one side and then pull up. Lean to the other side, pull up, lean. Try and keep your head in alignment. Just a gentle lean, just warming up through the ribs, the waist. I knew there was one I didn't just do in the last session. I love this one. Oh, lovely. Good. And then let's pop your hands on your thighs. Gentle twist, rotation. Keep the knees level. Just rotating one way and then the other. To the front, rotating. And then focus on just sending that elbow back a little bit more. Keep breathing, so don't hold your breath. There's a tendency as you come to the back to kind of hold your breath and then you go, whew, don't hold your breath. Nice regular breaths. Ooh, can you go a bit further? Just gently, just stretch, and that feels quite nice to stretch through the waist and the ribs. And let's go one more each side. Lovely. Okay, let's make a little circle with the hands. Nothing too big, so within your range of movement. So, and it might be you do one side and then the other. And we're not overstretching. So palms up, palms in, palms down, palms up and in. And let's go the opposite direction. So across, so cross the arms in front of you and around and down. Sometimes if you've got like tight shoulders or sore shoulders, one way can be easier. It can feel nicer than the other. Just breathe in gently. In and out. Last time. Lovely. Let's roll through those shoulders, up, back and down. A little bit forwards, up, back and down. Forwards. Are your feet nice and wide? Are they in front of you with that nice stable base? Lovely. Okay, let's roll through one side. Keep the other side still. You might want to pop that hand on your thigh. Big circle. All the way around and back. Up, back and down. And then let's change sides. So just rest the other arm, hand on the thigh. Really sending the elbow backwards to get that full range of movement through the shoulders. Lovely. Okay, let's work through the wrists. Big circle. So think about the fingers tracing a circle in front of you. Make it nice and slow. So up, back and around. And then let's go in the opposite direction. So in, out, over, down. In, out, over, down. That's it. Lovely. And then let's open the fingers and close. Open and close. Breathe in, and then we're going to work on one arm. So again, rest that other arm on your lap, rotating. So making, just clenching your fingers, but rest, not just kind of not tight. So resting and relaxing the fingers. Drawing a circle with the hand, but keeping the top arm, the top of the arm nice and still, and the elbow tucked in. So working through the elbow. And then let's go in the opposite direction. Lovely. So just some gentle movements. Okay, let's change sides. So keep that other hand down, open. Ooh, can we notice the difference on one side to the other? Have you got tightness? Sometimes there's a bit of discomfort. Lovely. And then let's go the other direction. Is your elbow tucked in? Is that nice and still? Excellent. Okay, let's bring the backs of the palms together. Pull the belly in and just round through the spine and drop the chin. And then lift and open. Send the hands towards the back of your chair or your lower back. Squeeze the elbows together and just lift the chin. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. And then into the opposite direction. Back of the palms, back of the hands together. Round through the spine, almost pulling the belly towards the back of the chair. Dropping the chin down. Breathing still. And then lifting, rising, hands come back towards the back of your body, squeezing those elbows together, lifting the chin, relaxing the shoulders. Lovely. And then coming to neutral position, we're going to hip walk. So we're going to send the hips backwards in the chair. Big sway, so feet are nice and wide. Big sway to the back of the chair and then walk into the front. So take your time here. And this is a great one to just improve the strength and the mobility in your hips, your lower back. If you press down through the feet, you'll get a bigger movement. And we're adding a little bit of resistance through our legs. Keep going. So we're not fast. We're not going speedy today. Well, we don't anyway, do we? So take your time. Okay, let's slow it down. To the side, really pick up. To the side, lift. To the side, come forwards. To the side, forwards. So really purposeful movements here. Forwards to the front third only, and then let's go back again. So your feet must be wide and really press down through the feet. Fabulous. And then come to the middle of your chair and then rest back. And we've been practicing this, so let's just lift the leg. So pick the knee up, drop it back down. Pick the knee up, drop it back down. So there's a bend in the knee, and we lift and lower, lift, lower, lift, and lower. Then we're going to add on. So can you lift and point, bend and drop? Lift the knee, and it might be that you have to take your knee a bit lower. It might be quite difficult. It might be too much for you to lift that knee as high as you were. Point is quite strong into the quads, but we're working these thigh muscles, making them stronger so that you can stand up and sit down a little bit easier and climb up those stairs, slopes, etc. Take your time. Point. So we're pointing toes at the moment. Just rest. Just rest. Wiggle, jiggle those feet. Because we're going to do the same but different. If you understand what I mean, I'll explain. So we're going to lift the knee. This time we're going to flex the foot. I'll show you from the side. So we're going to lift, flex. So I'm squeezing the toes up, bend, drop down. Lift, squeeze, lift. So that should feel very different. Lift. It's not so much into the thighs. It's into the backs of the knees, into the hamstrings, the backs of the thighs, but it's a nice stretch into the back of the ankle as well. So into the Achilles. Lift, press, lift. Let's do one more each side. Lift, press, lift, and drop, lift, press. And then we've got to get up from here. So you can take the feet back and just sit forwards. Wiggle back in your chair. And we're going to press the hands together. Elbows are wide. Fingers are spread out. Bend through those wrists. So you can see that mine are in line. I'm not up here because I want you to literally press the heels of the hands together and then release. Press and release. So add in some more resistance, but through the wrist this time. We don't often flex our wrists, but we have to look after our bone health. And you know, we're standing on our legs every day, but we don't press weight through our hands every day unless you actively focus on it. And you can do wall press ups, which are similar. Lovely. So you can see I press and release, press and release, and just rest out a minute and roll out the shoulders, wiggle through the wrists because we're coming back to a similar movement. Okay. Down and up. Down and up. And we'll do a proper stretch later. Okay. Similar. So hands together. This time palms, fingers are facing me. Okay. And then press and release. Press. Press all of the fingers together as well. Press them in. Press them in. Press. And press. And then release. Roll out through the wrists. One way. And then all the other way. Can you feel that? And then last one. Hands together. Sweep the fingers down, which is a bit more difficult, and then a gentle press. Release, press, release, press, and release, press, and release. And then bring the fingers together. I'm not getting you to squeeze them, but open. Just bring them together and open. Open as wide as you can. Good. Lovely. Keep going. Going. And then I want you to squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze tight. Crunch your shoulders up. Close your eyes. Crunch your face up. And then relax, release. Shake out your fingers, your hands. And then squeeze again as tight as you can. Squeeze up your toes. And then release, relax. Let them wiggle. They might feel a bit fizzy. Hopefully you feel okay. Yeah, give me a thumbs up. Okay, let's come into just some shoulder work. So we did this, was it last week or the week before? So let's do it again. So feet nice and wide, feet in front of you, and let's take one arm up, just within its own, your own range of movement. Okay. 2 weeks ago, and then to shoulder height. Nice smooth movements, and then down. So I'm not kind of moving out of my range of movement, and I'm just facing forwards for now. So just face forwards, and let's work through those movements. So shoulder height, bring it back, and then down. So keep your eye gaze forwards for now. Let's change sides. So to the corner, bring it down, shoulder height, bring it down, and down to the corner. Ooh, I looked. Other side, keeping eye gaze forwards, up, and to the shoulder height, and down. and then we bring in the eye gaze. So feet, knees, nice and still. Take that turn to one side, arm up into the diagonal, bring it down. Same side, shoulder height, reach around, come to the center and down to the corner of the room. And then let's change sides. So up and over to the corner, down, shoulder height, to center and down to the corner. Okay, let's go opposite. So we'll go one side. I'll talk you through. So we're going to go up with one arm, bring it to the center, up with the other arm. So change sides, reach back to center, shoulder height with the first arm. Behind you, come to center, shoulder height with the other side. To center, bring it down one side, and then bring it down the other side. Going up again, other side. So first side, up and reach, to center, second side, up and reach. First side to shoulder height, reaching back. Second side to shoulder height, and then down to the floor, and down to the floor. Lovely. Okay, rolling through those shoulders again. Lovely. So you should feel that in the shoulders, but also the waist, ribs. That's quite a good one if you're stiff in the upper body, because it kind of is gentle, but it gets all of those moving parts working. Okay, let's roll one shoulder, and then the other. One shoulder, and then the other. One. And then other side. Last time. Roll through. Oh, well done. Are we okay? Okay, I know we've done this in our previous class, but let's work through your ankles. Ankle mobility is so important. So let's start with that heel toe. So heel on one spot, toe on the same spot. Heel and toe. Heel and toe. Keep going. Heel, toe, heel, toe. Last one. And let's change sides. So heel, toe, heel, toe. If that feels okay, give it a bit of a squeeze. So squeeze the toes up, press the foot forwards. Squeeze the toes up, press the foot forwards. Okay.
I feel like you're going to do the blues.
Do that.
Is that what's going on?
No,
Is that the
no,
tune?
but it wasn't. But okay.
It is now.
Yeah. It's difficult for you to see at this angle, but we're going to take the toes out. Take the heels out. Take the toes out. Take the heels out. And back in. Heels, and toes, and heels. Heels, and toes, heels, and toes. Toes in, heels in, toes in, heels in, heels out, toes out, heels out, toes out, heels, toes in, toes in. Okay, so we're going to lift the heel on one foot and lift the toes on the other foot, and then change. Thank you. So heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. So you've got opposite, yeah? You've got one going up and I can't see you, so you might not have got it, but I'm trusting you. It doesn't matter if you haven't, it's just working the brain, those pathways from the feet to the brain. And then let's go toes out again. Heels, toes, and heels, heels, and toes, heels, and toes. So let's go again. Toe, heel, toe, heel. That's it. Right. I always want to sing a song. Okay, we're going toes out, palms up, heels out, palms down, toes out, palms up, heels out, palms down, heels in, palms up. You get it, yeah? I'm going to get confused saying this, so I'll let you just follow. Heels and toes, add in those hand movements, and if it's too far for your hips, just go as far as you can go. And out, and in, and out, and in. Now, let's come back to center. Can you take, I don't know if I could do this. So heels out, one palm up, one palm down. Heels out, toes out. Can you do it? It's that first bit, isn't it, that you need to think about. And then when you've got it, it's okay. And then just lift those heels one at a time. Lovely. Right. Okay, we're going to step out. So step forwards, bring that foot back. Step forwards, bring that foot back. Step forwards and in. Step forwards. We're going out this time in a V. So we're going one foot out, keep it there. Other foot out, keep it there. Number one foot in, number 2 foot in. So you're back to hip width. We're going out, out, and in, out, out, and in. 2 more, out, out, and in, out, out. This time, other foot, so exactly the same movement, but the other foot is going out first. So we're going out, out, and in, out, out, in. It helps to say it. In, out, in. We got a couple more. Two more. Out, out, and in, out, out. Okay, so now we're going to do this way once and then that way again. So we're going this leg out, out, in, and then this leg leads out, out, in, out, out, in, out, in. Let's go 2 more times through. In, out, out, in. Last one through. Oh no, 2 more. That's it. Last one. Out, out, in. How's that? How are your brains? How are your legs? Breathe. Well done. Okay. Grab a drink if you need to. Are we okay? For me to see on here, you like little pinheads there. I don't mean you are pinheads, like the image is. Are we okay? Fabulous. Okay, I just want you to rest and close your eyes because we're going to talk about, I know we've been talking about it, but it's really important to stress it before we finish. So close your eyes, just rest in the back of your chair in that full back rest. And I just want you to think about your day, your usual daily life, and those things that you find difficult. And sometimes we find people difficult or situations difficult. And we have a way to kind of help us to manage it. It helps if you can visualize things. And so we imagine that situation or that person. Imagine they're in a movie and there's certain things going on in that movie, certain scenes going on in that movie. And you can dial up the sound, so you can make it really loud. And that can be quite overwhelming. And then you can dial up the colours so it's really bright and vivid. And if it's something nice that you like to do in your day, then you can dial it up and make it loud and make it bright. But if it's something that you want to try to deal with, to control, to lessen, to make it easier to manage, then you can think about really dialing down the sound, even making it silent, and dialing down the colour so it's black and white, or you can't even see it, it's white, can't see it. And so you can deal with this situation so that it doesn't bother you. It doesn't mean anything to you, and you can ignore it to some respect. And you know, before we've talked about putting things in a box, putting the lid on, putting it on a shelf or in a cupboard until you have the energy or the tools that you need to deal with that situation or with that person. And you know, there's always some support network out there or somebody else around who can not necessarily take it from you and deal with it, but that can help you to manage these situations or circumstances. And sometimes it needs that external being, that external voice or train of thought to help you to know the best way to manage it. Or it might be that you leave it in the box until you're ready to manage it. And that's fine. And then we can imagine that person or the situation, and we can draw it on a piece of paper, an imaginary piece of paper. Whatever it might be words in word form or picture form, text, or visualize it on a piece of paper. Make it big, make it huge in your mind, and then make it tiny, small, and then make it to a normal size. And again, you can make it black and white or invisible. Or you can dial it up if you like that circumstance or that person. If it's uncomfortable, then you can fold that picture in half. Fold it in half again and again and again until it's a tiny folded up piece of paper. And then you can put it in the bin. Put it in the fire, put it in your wood burner, put it in the recycling. So it's gone. Or if you need to come back to it, you can put it in your box. Put it in your coping box so that you can come back to it at a later date. And we all have things that we need to deal with that are difficult or uncomfortable. And sometimes you just need to park it until you're strong enough or you have that resilience. So you know when that you can deal with it. And that's okay. And that's one of the coping strategies that we can have to help ourselves with anything that we find difficult or uncomfortable to manage. So just take a moment to think about some of those things. And just keeping your eyes closed as we go into relaxation. So just make yourselves comfortable. Rest, blanket, or just close your eyes again. And just take time for you, for yourself, to rest or to be ready to face the week if we have challenges. You might have a great week planned out. It's important to rest in those moments so that you have the energy to face the week. So just come to your breathing. And just listen to that breath. Just notice the breath in and the breath out. Can you hear your breathing? And just notice your ribs, your shoulders, your belly as you breathe in and out. And then notice the sounds around you. Can you hear the traffic? The people, animals, the wind? Or is it quiet? Is it silent? Then notice your body. Does your body still feel tense or is it relaxing? Is it relaxed? Separate your toes and then rest them. Notice the whole foot. Tracing a little path around the foot and in and around each of the toes, around the instep and the heel. Noticing the ankles, the muscles in the calves, the shins. Working up to the kneecaps, the knee joint, and the tops of the thighs and the bottom of the thighs. Just feeling your body sitting in the chair. Those pressure points where your body touches the chair. Feeling the back resting, that gap where you're not touching the chair, that space, the air. The shoulder blades, maybe resting on the chair, and the head, the back of the head. Traveling over the top, around the ears, the temples, and relaxing the whole of the face. Relaxing the jaw and the teeth, around the eyes, the frown, muscles in the neck and the throat, shoulders, the arms, fingers and the thumbs just resting. In the front of the chest, into the belly. Tops of the thighs, back down as you reach the toes again. And just coming back to the breath. Just taking some slow, gentle breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just being comfortable in your own skin, with your own breath, with your own body. Resting and relaxing in this moment. Just breathe in, being comfortable with yourself. I'm just thinking of one thing that you're grateful for today. Just setting that thought for the rest of the week. And just knowing that you can always come back to resting, relaxing, and resetting yourself at any point. And then we just bring some movement to our toes. To your fingers. Coming up, having a little stretch if you need to. Oh. And a yawn, will make you yawn. Opening your eyes, just pumping through the heels. Rolling through the shoulders, or you can just stay resting and relaxed. If you want to have a little nap, then that's fine too. Helen needs a nap. I need a nap.
That was lovely.
Well done. And that's it for Reneu. Ooh, oh my word, can't believe it. But you've always got the videos. Keep in touch, stay in touch. Let us know how you feel. And we will be here, icareimove.com. You can always message us, Pat or Helen at icareimove.com, or info actually, info at icareimove.com is the best one to catch us on. And we'll see you very soon. Take care.
Thank you, Pat. You've been very influential